Is it live now? Is it? Now it's live. I was wondering why is the chat like so quiet? Kesal internet. So apparently I had internet problems. Yeah. Let's I can't can I restart? Okay. Just go back to the title. Let's see if we can just continue it from somewhere. Hi, gomenasai, konbanwa, everybody. Apparently the stream was not loading and I've been talking to myself for the past 10 minutes. And I'm like, why is the chat so quiet? Am I being ignored? There. So I'll start it back again. I hope it's okay. Let me start back account. I think the chat box is also dead. Kuso internet there. Hello and ksa da ne. Ksa sugi. Hi, konbanwa. It feels weird to suddenly start again. Okay, never mind. I'll just start it again. Hi, konbanwa. Selamat datang. Hello everybody. Bookmarking live page until my dreams come true. I'm Shiori Masayume. I guess one of my dreams is now to get a better internet connection. 夢が叶うまで人生のページをシェアで作るまさゆめシェリーです。やーまー頑張れ Hi, today we'll be continuing Necrobarista. I've been talking to myself for the past 10 minutes and I'm like, so is the stream okay? I hope the volume is fine and all that. And then suddenly, there's no feedback. I'm like, am I really talking to no one? And then I had to check my YouTube, and then YouTube was like, your stream did not go live. Oh, F you YouTube. So today I'll be continuing. I'll just recap. I'll be continuing Necrobarista. Tsukete otomoimasu. So okay, I'll start saying hello again to everybody. Konbanwa, eripaisen, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for waiting. Konbanwa, Mano Afif. Thank you for being Tust. 2ST. Konbanwa, Aiman Hazik. Konbanwa, Amir Achiman. Hi, hello and ksa da ne. Kore wa hontou ni lalang desu ne. Hi, so we'll continue. I hope it continues from the save point. If not, it'll continue from the dialogue that just now I've been talking to myself for the past 10 minutes and thinking like, okay, it continue back from here. So I'll just skip through all the parts where I was talking to myself and just continue back to the story. Hi. Second floor, read. I hope the volume, everything is fine. If there's anything not so fine, you let me know. If the stream is lagging or something, also let me know. I have to read this back again. You're overdue this week, Ned. He tapped on the list of rules that Maddie Cap posted by the door. This is a 24-hour rule. Are you sure you've been enforcing it? I think we know how we run things here and no, none of it's your business, said Maddie. Actually, it absolutely is my business, said Ned. In fact, keeping the rules is basically my only business. That's the kind of word enforcer means. I'm supposed to scold you for breaking the rules, so audit me. Fine, said Ned. Let me check your ledger. We don't keep a ledger. Maybe you should. Lots of places do. It's a great system. You have someone stand at the door and have them mark down whenever someone comes in or leaves. Yeah, it's like our COVID case now, everybody just scans the thing and then when you forcibly evict people who are overstaying their welcome, I'm amazed you don't have a system like that in place. Some people overstay their welcome, other people understay it, said Shay. There's no need to strictly keep track of how long people stay, right? I have a notification for skip frames. I'm so sorry for my Kusozako internet. Just maintain the balance. You're right, said Nat. All that matters is maintaining the balance. So maintaining the balance, because when you don't, then you have a problem. We're a bit short-staffed to have someone acting as a full-time doorman, said Maddie. Figure it out, said Nat. He tapped the board listing the rules. change 24 hours to 23 hours. When you say 24 hours, people think you just colloquially mean one day, and they don't pay attention to the specific time. When you say 23 hours, people actually have to keep track of what time it is. Is it the same when you price something at like, let's say like $15.99, and then they just think, oh, it's 15 instead of like 16? Okay, maybe that's not the same. That would be fine, said Shay, except for the part when you're cutting off people's day. Trust me, anyone who would go right up to the limit is probably gonna not go over it. 23 hours is gonna mean 23 hours plus an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, half hour plus however long it takes to finish their coffee or drink. And if they have it less than 24 hours, who gives a shit? I'll give a shit. I'll give a shit, said Tay. You're right, you should give a shit, said then. In fact, you should celebrate whenever you manage to scooch someone out of here in under 24 hours, because the balance is upset and you've got to correct it. You can either correct the balance 1 hour at a time, or a council can come in here and repossess some souls. Or we can find someone who knows how to manage his property responsibly. He turned to Shay. Come on, buddy. I don't want to have to take this place away from you. That will mean quite the escalation, said Maddie. Well, you're already on the first level of escalation, which is stern talking to, said Ned. Let's try not to escalate it any further. Shane sighed. Well, we'll change the rule to 23 hours, okay? Buzz off. What, really? Said Ned. Well, okay then while you're rewriting the signs, should also take the green tea frappuccino off the menu. Fraps should be for coffee, not tea. Done, said Natty. Wait, really? Said Ned. Damn, I didn't realize you were so open to feedback. Also, that caramel will take it under advisement, said Natty, placing a hand on Ned's chest and physically pushing him to the door. Hold up. What are you doing? Removing an unwanted guest, said Natty. I need the practice if we're going to start enforcing those rules you care so much about. Now as he continued backpedaling to stay upright. Look, you could just bye. Thresholder the guy shut the door in his face. She turned around, leaning her back against the door and sighed. She raised an eyebrow. You're serious about the rule change? Yeah, said Maddie. I'll change the sign and the menu after we close tonight. Wait, really? The rule change is to keep him off our back, said Maddie. And the menu thing? I've been meaning to take that off anyway, said Maddie. It's a kind of menu item that attracts the worst sort of people. Well, okay, said Shay. Though I do think we should change the rule back to 24 hours after things have had enough time to balance out. Of course. Wouldn't want to upset the balance too far in the opposite direction. What would we do with all the extra time anyway? Hi, Rita. Hi, welcome. Hello. Hello, Alil Khaldun. Is there anything else I could... Oh. I can go down. Alright, nice. So, I think I have read this. Is there anything else we can read? Crucible product reviews. We do not have enough for this one. Thinking about alchemy the wrong way. I do not have enough paper thingy. I think these are all like side quests, which I don't really need to focus on them now. But I really do want to read Chase story, Chase collection, Judgment one. So I do not have any of his items. Wow, I've been getting a lot of very bad internet connection details, so I hope it's gonna be fine a bit afterwards. It's a Monday evening. What is wrong with the internet? People are off work. Let me stream. So we'll continue the story. Day 2, 12 p.m. The terminal. Rise and shine, Kerana. You shouldn't waste your last hours on our sleeping. Whoever said I'll have plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead Probably had a different idea how things would play out after that. Man, I was hoping that I was having a really long, weird dream. Sorry, no such luck. Some more pedantic magical practitioners are quite bothered by flippant and colloquial use of the word luck. Shay isn't one of them. I'm still having trouble getting my head around it. I totally understand. Want coffee? Yeah, just something simple. Hipster coffee, coming right up. What's going on downstairs? I didn't even know you had downstairs. There's more to this place than meets the eye. Maddie's down there, desperately trying to fix our debt situation. Sounds like she's hosting a cage match or something. Well, not exactly, but she mentioned she wanted to do that. There's some wrestler called the Red Comet that she wouldn't stop talking about for a while. Ha. And then because of Ashley got obsessed with wrestling for a bit and keep trying to suplex. Ashley's small, so she has to opt for wrestling moves that control their opponent's weight instead of trying to lift them. That's Aikido or Judo, I think. Did she managed to? She's tiny. A couple of times. Ha! It was very humiliating, I can imagine. But to properly answer your question, Maddie is running a gambling ring. Oh, seriously? When you find yourself standing on the brink of death, a wager could be a chance at salvation or the last chance to feel danger. Both of these appeal to different types of patrons. Yes, I truly understand this. Downstairs, all by yourself? It's a fairly unconventional one. And by unconventional, you mean mortals generally aren't involved. The stakes are higher than usual. Ah. Coffee's ready. Come over and get it. They gamble for time, among other things. You don't sound like you're a huge fan of the idea. I'm not. It's undignified. I mean, as long as Maddie's not in danger, shouldn't it be fine? The council doesn't like it. They turn a blind eye because we don't cause trouble otherwise. But I'd rather not have to worry about bad things coming our way, because Maddie refuses to approach the problem from a different angle. And by the problem, you mean the debt, yeah? I was pretty drunk, but I think I remember Maddie storming off after Ned turned up. Yes, I'm a bit worried about her. I wish I could help. You all seem pretty nice. The thought's appreciated. Maddie will figure it out eventually though, I'm sure. She just needs time. Hey, thanks for the coffee, by the way. I just realized you haven't actually made me pay for a bunch of them. How'd you expect to pay for them? Oh, right. Yep, no cash. If I were feeling particularly capricious, I'd ask you to pay in time. But you're a nice kid and you need every minute you got. Wanna head downstairs? I can see your eyes darting to the stairs. I'm not gonna go down, but I'm also not gonna stop you. Yeah, that's okay. Go on then, I'll stick up around here. Alright, thank you everybody for dropping by. Go home safely, okay? Catch you in a bit. Oh, that's right. Eri is also playing this game. Don't spoil yourself, everybody. The stairs that led down to the basement were solid and well-worn. The smooth ruts on each step and handrail that had been polished to a silky sheen through the years of use. Kishan had always liked stairways. People never lingered at them for long, and he'd found them to be a good place to catch a breather. He wasn't obsessed with them. That'd be weird. But he definitely appreciated the nice set of stairs. On further reflection, it was probably really weird. Downstairs, Maddie's audience clamored for blood. Even the dead find blood spots compelling. It's ingrained. From you to me. With the understanding that your remaining moments on this plane are limited, you surrender this time freely without coercion as agreed. Contract fulfilled. You're free to go. Everything comes at a price. Nothing wasted, nothing gained. But straight in a row, you bloodthirsty. I don't want to say bad words, but bloodthirsty bastards. The crowd cheered. Woo! Maddie was clearly an expert at winding them up into a frenzy. Who's next? The room fell dead silent. Come on, isn't anyone here brave enough to challenge me? I thought you came here to play with knives, you pansies. Seriously, anyone? Don't hold out to me. Do I need to pick someone out from the crowd then? Is this what we've come to? Maddie's gaze swept the audience. Kishan, good to see you upright. Interested in a game of skill? Oh yeah, I am so sorry. The stream is sort of lagging. Not sort of. I think it is quite lagging. I am so sorry that my internet is this bad at this time. If you know Malaysian internet, we all know how bad it is. I think it's been quite bad for the past few days. Last weekend I had a collab with fellow MYVT VTubers, and one of our friend that streamed it disconnected like I don't know 4 or 5 times in that 1 hour. So I'm so sorry if the stream is lagging or it had some problems. I don't know if there's anything I can do to fix it. Honestly, yeah, especially if it's raining. It's true, it is. I think it's just finished raining here. So kita faham-faham je lah. Kalau anything boleh tengok archive, tapi kalau boleh nak tengok stream as it goes on lah kan? Me? Yes, you. Oh, sure. Give me some enthusiasm, my man. Sure. What's the game? 5-finger fillet. Some of the people here just call it the knife game. You heard of it? Oh, finally something I'm good at. Ooh, unexpected. Kishan is good at something that is dangerous. He seemed like a nice guy, so I don't know. Episode 3, Rise and Shine. Nani? You've got a lot of knives in this place. Tell me about it. That's why she kept looking for knives when hi, welcome, County. Just in time. Damn, this thing has a good weight to it. Of course, I wouldn't want to make you compete with an inferior tool. Ha. What? Sorry, I was waiting for you to see into calling me an inferior tool. Shit, that was low-hanging fruit, wasn't it? Next time, mate. Sure. Kishan did another experimental slash, and this time made an audible whoosh. The spectators oohed and ahed. But this wasn't for them. He knew he only had one shot to get accustomed to the blade. Ooh, ah. You done showing off? Nothing wrong with putting on a little show. Sounds like you're stalling for time. Getting cold feet, perhaps? Psst, not a chance. Let's get started then. You know what you're wagering? Che mentioned something about you gambling with time. Ugh, it's not gambling if it's a game of skill. Yeah, that's what all people who wail say. When you play gacha games and then they're like, this is a game of skill. You know how hard it is to plan strategies. You know how it is to play this song or whatever gacha game, right? Yeah, I'm so sorry for the laggy stream. Maybe I should put like a disclaimer. Hold on. What do I do? Let me see. Let me type something. My eyes are wide open and I don't know what I'm looking at. Text, right? Okay. Stream lagging due to bad net. Alright. Let's pick a font. Okay. これで良いかしら。これで良 良いかしら. Put it there. Alright. I think. Yes, I think y'all can see it. Stream lagging due to bad net. I am so sorry. 本当にごめんなさい. 本当にごめんなさい. We'll continue the game. If the game is if the stream is too bad, maybe you'll have to watch the archive. I'm so sorry, but I really do just want to stream this game. Okay, I'll try. I have no idea what I'm gonna try. The internet's just bad. But that's beside the point. The stream seems fine the moment you step out of stream. Really? Really? So it's the game's fault? Is it really the game's fault? Nande? I don't think my PC is running on a lot of stuff. I only have this game open with I only have this game open with the video capture for the live 2D. And alright, what is happening? Let me just close this. I don't know what else I can close. Is this? Yeah, that's the only thing I can close. I've not closed anything else. Hey, Nande. Alright, let's see if I can do something about this. Configure. This has nothing to do with anything. Okay, let's play a low setting. So it has to result to this. Low setting. Alright guys, we are playing low setting. I hope it is smooth or not laggy. Return to game. Oh, okay, so if low setting there's no glow and stuff. But if you win, it comes to the cafe's balance. If I win, it comes from yours. You've got around 16 hours left in case you aren't keeping track. Shit, only that many? Want a little extra time to play with then? Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay? Hell yes. Let's stop wasting it and get this over with. You sure know what you're getting into. Most people are pretty shy about playing with time that they have left, especially when their tank's running as empty as yours. Yep, come on. Unless you're getting cold feet. I'm still getting notifications there are skip frames. Nande. Better than before. Okay, so I guess it was just the game being just choppy. So I'll just play on low FPS. Wow, I haven't played on like low frame rate in a while. Something's wrong. Smack the timer when you're ready. Ding. Oh. The crowd cheered and Kishan fed off their enthusiasm. Oh god, that is scary. In response, Maddie leaned back and tapped her finger on the table, feigning impatience. He met her eyes, grinned and continued his performance. His stabbing motion got faster as he went, the point narrowly missing each of his fingers. Stabs, strong enough to drive a knife through a millimeter or two into the table, were good if you wanted to put on a show. I have no idea. The game choices I have been picking so far have been off the mark. I've been trying to pick like happy, wholesome games or like fun to read stories, and then suddenly like hantu lah, horror lah, gore lah. Anyway, this itself is kind of a plot twist. That's the fun of games. Everything comes with a plot twist. You might be going fast enough to put on a show, but you're not going fast enough to win. Ding ding. How'd I do? 16 sets if I counted correctly. Whoa. I couldn't do 16. That's how many Maddie beat me with. She gonna lose? She's gonna kick your ass. Feeling good about that result? Certainly am. Righto then. Watch closely. Oh, I will. 16. Oh, I've seen this screenshot somewhere. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 7, 11, 15. She did 15 sets. He did 16. He won by 1 set. Told you she's unbeatable. Oh, wait. She did more. She's just that good. Poor guy, he didn't know he was getting into. Sorry, mate. You beat me fair and square. Pretty impressed. I aim to please. I'll be taking those hours now if you don't mind. Yeah, sure. How does this work? Look at her grin. Just like this, you would feel a thing. Kishan felt a brief tightness in his chest, and for a moment the white tip of Maddie's finger burned white hot. You can't beat entropy. Anytime you do energy transfers, there can be some amount of energy used. Ow! Shit! Someone in the crowd laughed. Sorry, I lied. It's done now though. Alright, does anyone else dare to compete with me? Come on, looking for some actual decent opposition here. I'll take any challenge, even if it's chess or something. Any challenge? I challenge you. Che. To get everyone a drink. Oh, alright. The shot of the scene made it look very ominous. Rounds on me. He's angry. I didn't realize you're watching. There wasn't anything happening upstairs and I got bored. Right. So, you took some hours from Kishan, huh? Yes, I did. Do you feel good about that? Che? Do you? I won them fair and square. He didn't know what he was getting into. There's an obvious power imbalance here that you're exploiting. Che doesn't want to let you forget the responsibilities that come with power. He knew the rules. It doesn't change anything. You led him to believe that he'd get some extra time. Oh no, they weren't gonna get any time in what? Oh damn. Seductive the promise of extra time can be. And bearing a miracle on his part that absolutely wasn't going to happen. Doesn't matter. He was just passing through. Couple hours when anyway. Kabedon da. Mary, I'm disappointed in you. Our patrons respect us. We need to earn their respect by treating them with respect ourselves. This is not respectful or dignified. Cheating vulnerable prostitutes out of their time. We're above that. We're better than that. I don't care whether you think it's dishonest or not. I want you to give that poor man his time back. Maybe I should play like a visual novel, what do you call it, like galge or that kind of stuff, you know, otomege galge style. Then it won't be horror or gore or some sort, unless I specifically find that genre. Then I don't know. Don't pout, it's serious. I feel like a broken record saying this, but while I understand your intentions are good, you can't keep doing these things. Greetings, hi, welcome, cost 017. Is this the glasses to week? I think it's just stylized, you know. I've seen some people with glasses like huge, much bigger than their own eyes, but you know, I think it's just their style. Like even the haircut is like shaggy all over, as you can see. It's all for you. What? It's all for you? What? If you really want to do this for me, find another way. Why is this? This isn't worth it, Maddie. It breaks my heart to see you like this, and I know you're trying your hardest. But this really, truly is not worth sacrificing your own self-respect over. Everyone here respects you. But you gambling with hours, just cheap and sad. I'll give the hours back. Shame, I was pretty great with the knife. Still not as good as me. I was pretty close. What's with this angle? Achievement unlock. Diabetes diet. Kawaii. That place. Yes. What form did you have before being born?
I think I was a crab.
Come on, I'm being serious. Actually, I wouldn't have a spirit liquid from a crab.
I'm consuming an awful lot for how squeamish she is. As far as I can remember, I lived above sticks next to the sky.
So bird then. Wings and feathers and that.
No, not that. I don't remember flying though.
What? Oh, you're a sugar glider.
Describe?
Did you eat insects and tree saps and flower nectar?
That is familiar.
Wonder how I actually found you then. Could have been anything really. You mentioned bright lights earlier. Oof. Yeah, I'm thinking you got hit by a car.
That seems likely. Is that bad?
I mean, you're here now, so...
Whether you like it or not.
Shut up.
I am feeling Justin.
Okay. Suplex. Oh, there ain't much, so... Terminal. Lore. Death. Chain. Magic. Ashley. Maddie. Oh, I got one of each character. Nice. Alright. Oh, new area unlocked. Nice, now we can go downstairs. Death one. I don't have enough. What else can I check down here? What else can I check down here? Korewa Fisherman 3. Oh, actually I do have enough. But do I want to read this? Jack waited until Maddie left the counter. Wait. I've only read Fisherman 1. I have not read Bullets 2. Oh, these are all the sub-stories. I am sort of lazy to read them. Unlock. Fight Club. Oh, look at that. No, that's open. Kishan's footstep echoed in the way that startled him. Were his footsteps always so loud? Perhaps it was just a contrast with the surrounding environment, which seemed so completely silent, that made his footfalls seem so jarringly loud as he walked through the catwalk. He was on a catwalk. Why was he on a catwalk? There seemed to be a gaping space below him, filled with some sort of mist that he couldn't see through. It was fog-like, and yet, despite the fog that lapped at his feet, the air felt so dry. The air was thick here. As he breathed heavily, Kishan felt an overwhelming sweet sickly odor, like the smell of wet or rotting wood, but all he could see around him was steel beams and a concrete path in front of him. Was it rust that he was smelling? Oh no, he knew the smell of rust. This was different. The smell was somehow organic, like the smell of forest after fresh rainfall. Kishan shivered. Far in the distance, he could see what looked like a building of some sort, so far away that made the structure he was inside felt almost tunnel-like, and it was only purpose to convey him to that distant building. He continued walking forward, but as he walked, the building seemed to be growing more and more distant. He quickened his pace, and as he walked faster, he could feel himself moving through the thick, stiffening air. Yet as he looked down, he could see the texture of catwalk in front of him, unchanged as though he were walking in place. Kishan started to turn backward, but saw only a blinding light. His eyes immediately shut, and when he opened them, he was again facing into the tunnel, with the distant building at the center of him. He tried turning around, but every time he tried to turn his head, his eyes involuntarily shut at the sight of the light, and he was forced to close his eyes or look away, always confronted again with the sight of the small hut when he opened his eyes. His heart pounded violently inside of his chest. The tunnel was so quiet that he could hear his own heartbeat, feel his own pulse inside of his head. Something about this place felt deeply, incredibly wrong. Get back. I have to get back. He tried turning again, and this time found himself unable to begin rotating his body before his eyes snapped shut, placing him again in a world of darkness until he opened them again and was confronted with the sight of the small hut in the distance, now looking more far away than ever. I have to get back. Kishan kept facing the building and took a step backward. As he placed his foot on the ground, he felt a gust of wind knock him forward. He let out a yelp of terror. Instinctively, his hands reached for the opposite edges of the catwalk as he fell, trying to steady himself for the fear of falling off. The catwalk was wide enough that his body didn't land close enough to the edge, for that have been a risk, and yet, as he looked toward the edge, he felt a growing sense of dread that there was something down there that would capture him if he allowed it to catch even the smallest hold of him. Almost as he thought it, he felt the sensation of something pressing against his legs. He stumbled to his feet. He ran forward. The hut ahead of him seemed to grow no closer as he ran, but he ran all the same, running not to reach a destination but to be away from whatever it was that was behind him. Moments ago, his only thought was an overwhelming desire to turn back, a worry that he was somehow trapped in here. But now that worry was replaced with an overwhelming response of dread that propelled him forward. He had been pushed forward by something. Something was behind him. Kishan leaned forward and ran. He was no runner. He often found himself winded when forced to climb more than one flight of stairs. And yet he ran and felt no sense of tiredness holding him back. No need to catch his breath. Maybe it was the thick air here that somehow never allowed him to run out of breath. Maybe it was the fear of whatever it was behind him that was strong. He felt the air stinging at his eyes as he ran. By now he was running so fast that the thick air felt like hot wind on his face. Tears began running down his face, but he couldn't find it in him to raise a hand to wipe at his eyes. That would mean slowing his sprint. So he closed his eyes, fully aware that he was running down a catwalk that had no handrail on either side. At this point he didn't care. He ran and ran. Long after the tears on his face had dried, Kishan realized that he could only hear the sound of his own feet as they struck the catwalk. He couldn't even hear the rush of wind, even as it seemed to buffet at his feet. I can't read. There were no sounds of anyone or anything pursuing him. Perhaps there was no pursuer at all. He allowed himself to open his eyes and look down. He looked over his shoulder. This time there was no blinding light, only a distant glow, like the light at the end of a long tunnel. In a way, it was the light at the end of a long tunnel, and in observing the dim glow of distant light, Kishan suddenly realized how far he had run. He turned around and saw the building right in front of him. It had windows that were covered with the same fog that covered the ground around him. Kishan reached for the door handle. He half expected it to be locked and felt a moment of panic as the handle bowed under pressure of his hand. Was he ready to face whatever was on the other side of that door? Did he even want to enter? Did he have a choice? What was it that awaited him inside of this building? Answers or more baffling questions? Kishan looked down at the tunnel and suddenly felt cold. Whatever this place was, he needed to escape. And the only form of egress that seemed available to him was the door of this building. He leaned on the handle and felt the door swing open. Kachang. Nanda kore. That was a very long monologue. To the cellar, staff only, or the terminal? Let's go to the cellar. I can't go in the cellar. Let's go up. I've been thinking, what if all this time we've been playing as Kishan? You know, can we unlock the judgment side? No, I'm missing whatever this is. Alright, then let's continue the story. If any of you have any requests to read any side stories, do let me know. So I'll try to look forward to the items here. Okay, so we have read The Fisherman 1. I don't think I have read this. We have read The Fisherman 1 and Ashley's Journal. So these are the two side stories that I have unlocked. Okay, watch it in the previous stream. The other options are, of course, the continuation of everything else. Like, is it here? No, it was downstairs. There. The other options are Billiards 1. Glowing. I think I've also read Delicate Operation. Alright, bye bye. Thank you for joining. You can watch it back later. And I think it's Maddie's inbox. I am lacking this map. I have no idea what map is that. So, since I am just not looking forward to anything else, I'll just continue reading the story. Continue. Day 2, 5 p.m. outside terminal. You're right? Yeah, I guess. Cool. And if I join you, go for it. Dury? You want Dury? I'm sorry, Dury. Coffin nail. Cigarette. Do you want to smoke on that? Oh, right, of course, yeah, sure. Sorry, it's been a weird day. Thanks. No worries. Where are you from then? Huh? You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Where else can you find an active nightlife scene amid active factories, shops and apartments built all during the 1800s? Oh yeah? Whereabouts? Smith Street. Bit pricey up there these days, ain't it? Bet you like your Avo toast. Avocado toast, huh? Ha! Piss off. I've got housemates. Well, nah, I know what you mean. Bit odd. Being dead and all that. Takes some getting used to. Nat suddenly knows what it's like to get used to being dead. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better. I understand. Do you? I reckon as much anyone can, yeah. Right. Hey, what's Avo toast actually taste like? Huh? Never had it. Can't you just go out and just eat some? I'm sure Maddie could whip up some if you ask. Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit. Don't trust them one bit. Plus, I've got this whole situation. Oh, so that's what the straw was for. Got it. So, what's it taste like? I don't know, like avocado and toasted bread. Avocado is kind of cold and mushy, but it's got a good taste. Like peas. Definitely better than mushy peas. Love me a bowl of peas, mate. Bowl of peas. One famous Australian outlaw requested peas with a bottle of wine for his last meal before he was hanged. Good order. What? Because they're the only thing you can eat through a straw? Watch yourself. Gonna zap me with your deaf council powers? First off, it's a council of deaf, not deaf council. They're totally different things. Secondly, do you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of fingers? Well, if you put it like that, it sounds a bit silly, yeah. We don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly, so harassing cafe owners to settle the time debt isn't something we like to do often. So just keep the peace? As fucking ironic as it sounds, yeah, that keeps the peace. Dude, I know. Want another? Sure. Suddenly. I love the sunrises here. They're alright. You watch any sunrises, Ned? Not enough, no. Even semi-immortals need their sleep. Liminal space tends to draw liminal people. I just like to sit here and watch it. Even if it's cloudy or raining, there's just something about watching the sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day. Feeling optimistic all of a sudden? No, I still feel like shit. Ha. How about you, Kishan? Kishan? I don't feel great. I'm still having a lot of trouble. You guys, I'm dead, and I've only had a couple of hours left before I have to go. And I don't think anyone here really properly understands what it's like to see your last sunrise ever without any idea what comes next. And that's really fucking terrifying. And I'm never gonna see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again. I'm just gonna pass on and I'll never know if they'll remember me or mourn me, or if I'm gonna be remembered as a good dude who tried his best, or if I'm gonna be forgotten in a year.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
But that good dude who tried his best couldn't even win a friggin' game of five-finger fillet in the basement of a cafe that basically sits on the banks of the Styx as far as I can tell. And God, I can't even tell if that matters. Where the stakes low, high? I can't tell. I'm so disoriented that I'm trying to desperately to feel something, but all I feel is that I'm slipping away with every second. I'm losing myself by degrees, and that is incredibly scary, and I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, fair cop. I actually came out here to apologize for that. The game. Oh, for God's sakes, Maddie, have you been gambling again? Can it, Ned? Shan, I shouldn't have taken that time for you. You took it fair and square. I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I don't usually do this. It's different this time. That's my business. I can't believe you're still swindling people out of their hours trying to fix your debt. Dude, I know. That's bloody undignified. And it's clear violation of the rules. I will banish you right now, my man. I thought you stopped pulling that crap out when you took ownership from the cafe from Che. You really think doing this is going to help you pay this debt? Yes, absolutely. And if you got any bright ideas on how to do it otherwise, I'm all ears. We should never have granted you and Che those licenses to practice. License to practice. The actions of reckless necromancers make a pretty good case for the importance of occupational licensing. You've obviously failed to be responsible with them. You really think we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have the licenses, Bushman? Given your history to hypocrisy on the display here is outstanding. That's all behind me, and you know it. I've been working on some good in the last 100 years. With the council? Really? Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important? Sure do. I don't need you moralizing at me from your ivory tower. Give it a rest, guys. But I'm pulling the last day on Earth card. Quit it. I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Shan. For what it's worth, I'm sorry about all this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave. Walked the land for decades, evading the council. It's a crime, they call it. Revenancy. Staying too long, upsetting the balance. But in lieu of booting of me straight to the next place or some sort of eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. Ned may have forgotten some of the sins of his past, but he's pretty sure he wouldn't be going to heaven. Sorry, that's all the stuff you don't care about, I suppose. It's interesting enough. Now I'm just filling up the empty air. You should head back inside and get those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddie right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. You might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people in there are fond of you. Think so? Maddie wouldn't have offered the hours back there if it wasn't something different about you. Plus, the kid Ashley seems to like you, yeah? I guess. She kind of dragged me off to hold screwdrivers for her. Trust me, she thinks you're great. Go on, go inside and say hi. I've got some business to go, stick my nose in anyway. Alright. Catch you in a bit. Got some questions about the council. Of course. Won't be out for long. Later, mate. You won't know if the last see you later would be the actual last see you later. Hey. Yo. Do you want those hours back? I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much of a difference. If it's okay, I'd prefer that you have them. Ashley's been enjoying having you around. Just Ashley? And me too, I guess. You seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude. Don't psychoanalyze me. Sit still for a minute. Alright, lay your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist. Is this a ritual or just an excuse to hold hands? Lewd. Thanks. Watch carefully and no matter what you do, don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I've used to make sure that doesn't happen, but I've run out of reagents required and you probably don't care about that. True. Alright, yeah. I give this time freely and without coercion. As above, so below, I maintain the balance. Ow. I maintain the balance. That's it. How do you feel? I actually feel better. Feel less itchy? Yeah, you weren't caring about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand, it doesn't feel good. Yeah. Why doesn't that get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it? The council are a special case. They are more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us. That's fascinating. Tell me about it. I'd have joined ages ago, but they're uptight dicks. They don't seem so bad to me. That's because you've not run into any of their ridiculous rules. Bunch of bloody regulations and manipulating life forms and certain standards on the treatment of spirits. It's got to be a more inclusive term than the human rights for all of the not quite human entities that are floating around. Is that why you gave me the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules? No, that was all within the guidelines despite his blustering. I gave them back because I felt bad, that's all. Oh, neat, so you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it. No, dude, it's not like that at all. Nah, you don't need to clarify. I get it. Seriously. Last day on Earth. Moving on. I'm sorry. So I gotta serve this customer. I'll help. Really? It's probably not a two-person job. Sometimes 2 people working on a task will be less efficient than 1. Sometimes Kishan doesn't care. Yep. Come on. Day 2, 6 p.m. The terminal. It's only been 1 hour. Phew. Anything else that he's doing? Now I'm gonna take this tray of glasses into the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit. I'll take them. You need a break. Sure. Where's the kitchen? That way. You'll find it eventually. Cool. Back in a minute. They playing chess? Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles. Rook and castle both offer protection for the defending team, but rook seems to be more popular.
Nothing.
Yeah? What's this then?
My castle! Brought low by my own hubris.
No, it was just pawn. And maybe a little bit hubris. When Chasey is actually thriving, it's hard for him to feel like he's doing the wrong thing. Maybe that makes him overconfident. Maybe it makes him feel like the right kind of confident.
Bishop. Knight.
You're out of the castle and check.
Check, you say?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
You activated my trap card. Oh, hey, Maddie, come check this out. I tricked him into a false sense of security.
Oh man, that's embarrassing. You seriously let her outmaneuver you that hard? Yes, I am very ashamed. I suppose the real hubris was inside me all along.
I friggin' love winning. I should try doing this more often.
A chance at winning at chess? It could grow into a big winning streak, you know.
You wanna play something with us?
I should really head back down at the bar. There's nobody there. Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they'll know where to find you. How about I grab us all a drink, make sure nobody's waiting down there, then we play something. It'll be 5 minutes.
You actually gonna come back this time? You never come back.
Maddie, you should just come back when you say you're gonna come back. I'll come back, promise. Why don't you pick out a game while I'm gone? We'll find something actually. What do you think you feel like playing today?
Something. Something with a lot of dice.
The past tense of die is died. The plural of die is dice. Dice it is. We'll see you in a minute, Maddie. 6:15, Ashley's workshop. Nanda kure. Oh, she came back. Is that... What is that? Is that D&D? Wow, I have over 21 skipped frames in the past hour. It's bad. It's just bad. Oh, and that's why the 4th season of Raw Battle Royale was an absolute betrayal. You still want to be in it one day?
Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit owns it.
Like in wrestling?
Exactly like in wrestling. Melbourne's got a local show and I want something like that.
You could probably put up your own local league together if you worked really hard. Perhaps you could build the robots and get people to battle.
Human-controlled robots are boring though. I want to get more of that spirit juice and put together bigger Ashley.
Veteran necromancers will advise that spirit juice is not something to play around with. Masters know that playing around is the best way to learn. How big?
I think I'll start at car-sized, then move on of a bus-adjacent form factor.
I'm not sure we have enough power on these. You'd have to get Maddie to source you a large amount of it. We'd need liters of it at least.
That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was illegal though?
Well, technically. But what Ned doesn't know won't hurt him. He'd lose his head if he knew half the things we're doing around here. I don't know, he seems fairly lenient with you, right? He wasn't always like that. Long time before you turned up, he nearly shut me down because Would you believe it's because I sheltered a criminal? Ned nearly shut you down because of that? Am I thinking of the same criminal you are? Trust me, the irony was apparent. I found it very, very funny.
What sort of criminal are they?
Just a minor demon on the run. Most demons are unlucky enough to find someone as welcoming as Che, especially the ones that haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves. So a named demon is actually strong. So a minor demon, I guess, is not named demon.
I don't know what she did to get a price on her head. I just took her in when she stumbled through the door, dripping blood everywhere. Hey, that's metal. It was extremely metal. How long did you manage to hide it for? Oh, not long, maybe 6 weeks. Time flew by, if I'm being honest. Why is that? Was she on the clock now? No, nothing like that. We bonded. Magically? How'd you do that? I thought I heard you telling Maddie that sort of thing was impossible between beings on this plane. No, not magically. We were lovers. Che, you rascal! Ew, yuck! Ew. Happier days. I love hearing about when you were young and reckless. Gosh, what do you think I am now? Old and boring? Definitely old. Despite myself, I must say you're definitely not boring. There's that patented Maddie charm. Well, you know me, I'm full of them. Oh yeah, charms, vexes, curses. That's all on your account, old man. I won't deny it. Hey, Maddie. Hey dude, having trouble finding the kitchen? Yeah, I couldn't. Checked everywhere. Just behind the bar, man. You can't miss it. Told you, I checked everywhere. Nah, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar. You can't miss it. Have a look. It'll be there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quantum hallways that they exist. Fine. How long are we gonna keep him here, Maddie? Oh, we're keeping him? No, we're not keeping him. I'm gonna let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave at his own accord at some point. You feel sorry for him? Weirdly, yes. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude. I like him. Do you like him because he's nice, or because he was good at passing you your tools over? Yes. Don't get too attached. He's not gonna be here forever. Well, duh, I know how it works. I'm gonna enjoy having him around, just like you taught me. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Ashley. That's from the motivational calendar I threw out last week. I never said that. Same. I'm used to people moving on this point. I can deal with it. Good. Day 2, 6:30. It's only been 15 minutes. Fuck. Here. You gonna keep staring at the coffee stain or nah? Yes. Okay, whatever. What do you want from this conversation? I'm an open book as far as matters of life and death are concerned. I don't want to go. I know you've probably heard this from, 1,000 people or whatever. Given the amount of traffic that the terminal gets and how long it's been open, 1,000 people is pretty low estimate. It's not about staying around for people or wanting to go back to my old life. As wonderful and not stressful as that sounds, like I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side, I don't think there's any point to worry about until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here. The cafe? No? All this, I guess you call it this plane? Roughly speaking, I suppose so. I want to know what you did to be able to stay. Sure. Did Maddie give you those hours back? Yeah, why? Well, that's a way. You can just find enough hours to stay as a spirit, half here, half gone. But it's a wretched existence. I wouldn't want to live like that. How would you find the hours though? There's only so many you can get it from consenting beings, right? The crappy psychology of gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you create life from nothing? The answer is you can't, Kishan. It's impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understand that no matter whether they're doing good or bad things with their skills. Here's the thing though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety. Necessity. Something that separates us from, well, people who don't do that. That's where the idea of vampires came from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything, they just stick hits. Anyway, if you can take a life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants. But in this business, there's a lot we don't or can't understand. One of the things we can't understand is why life force from animals and plants is tainted. It was gross. If it didn't, everyone would take it. Consequences be damned. How are you feeling today before Maddie took the hours back?
Hello, welcome.
I felt like I was slipping away, like my mind was really foggy. It's scary to run when it's foggy, you don't know what you might be running towards. Like, it was really hard to think or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed though. Typical. Imagine that, but 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like your collection of a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil. That sounds horrifying, right? So, should I do it? Probably not. How would I stay otherwise? Well, you could always go for the lamb. Just run for it. But you catch me. Not me personally, but yes, the council would eventually. And that's it? You can see that the mesh inside is it's see-through. It's my only opinion. It's my only option. Perhaps. Depends on how you feel about bonding your soul for eternity to a fundamental neutral arbiter of justice. The downside of neutral arbiters is that they are never on your side. Well, that's true. They gotta keep neutral, huh? I have no strong feelings about it one way or another. Smartass. Yeah. Would you regret it if you stay here forever instead of moving on? I don't know. I guess that'd be up to me, right? What do you mean? In the end, how I feel about taking a branch in my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I regret, sure, but that's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, possibly everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, that's probably better for me, yeah? Sure. You don't sound convinced. I'm just ambivalent on it. I try not to think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept the internal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work though. You have to act in the best interest of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest. How did you learn to deal with it? Just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn not to think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out alright. We tend to only bother the biggest rule breakers anyway. Maddie being one of them? Ugh, habitually. She wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Che. I don't understand that guy. He's nice, we've chatted a bit, but what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much about the manipulation of life forces as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. Lost trace since the days when Che was a young man. No way, he's that old? He looks like 60 max. That is rude. Yup, much older than that. Wild. We're getting sidetracked though. How do you feel about joining the council? I don't hand out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but can I have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? You have been out for nearly 25 hours. You're overdue. put it on Maddie's tab. Ha. Okay, I assume you're not going to stick around forever. Unlikely if it's the next few hours or anything like how I felt this morning. I'll stick around till you have a solid answer then. Cool. Wanna get drunk? We're already drinking, mate. Nah, Che told me about something pretty special he got behind the bar. Unless it's something really special, he probably offered me some. And even then. So you've tried the bottled soul? Pulling my leg? Nope. Got to be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, I've actually seen it. That's quite illegal. I expect better from him. Damn it. So drinking it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it or force the owner to dispose of it. That doesn't need to steal anymore, he just confiscates. You've been doing him a favor then, I suppose. Come on, dude. Chase it and knock you flat. When they say you, do you mean me or you? Or just anyone drinks it? Anyone. It's like 200% alcohol or something. It's not technically possible, but I'll admit my interest speaks. Well, then let's not waste any time. Damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically, you win. Fine. Oh, this looks deadly. Good thing that people can't get alcohol poisoning. Hey. To bureaucracy. To bureaucracy. Yo. Your orders arrived. 3 days late, mate. It got held up by a mutual acquaintance of yours. Of ours. Ah, shit, that explains why he's in my hair. I'll be there in half an hour.
The katabasis is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero goes to hell at some point. What? And the stories they usually come back with is a bit that seems weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. The cafe has had a bunch of heroes come true, claiming that they were gonna conquer hell and come back. They never returned as far as I saw. The idea of katabasis is that in the grand scheme of things, hell or the underworld or Hades or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, on the outside of wherever we are, like we're trapped inside this sphere and we have to leave it to go to hell. Did the ancient Greeks ever consider that maybe we've been outside the whole time, just waiting to get in? Maybe they did. Matter of perspective, I guess. I'll ask one sometime if I ever meet one. Perhaps we are waiting our entire lives for this to pass through the firmament to the next place.
Must be in Malaysia. On the way, we got 1 hour. Yeah, that is totally true. On the way. And then you baru bangun from the bed, right?
To be driftwood that washes up the shore or whatever that next place really is. Seems weird, but maybe that's where we're naturally meant to be. I'm thinking it's possibly that this world isn't some sort of proving or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. Beautiful, flawed, complex way. Personally, I don't think there's anything like heaven or hell waiting for us. No judgment either. The world doesn't ever operate in binaries or absolutes. This is a flawed human thinking projected onto things that are much, much more complex than they can ever perceive. And I don't think that's what's waiting on the other side is even something that we can conceptualize. But it's cool. It's a shame it's a one-way trip though. Oh, this guy's been talking the whole time.
Oh, there are a lot of things this round. So, Malaysian Limbo Cafe, we deliver 3 hours late. Bos teh tarik satu. By the time the teh tarik sampai, it's already sejuk. Hubris. Semi-immortals. Minor demon. I'm getting used to licenses to practice. 100 years, the next phase. Oh no, I'm 1 extra. Kerana? Oh, this is a Ned icon. I thought it was some kind of... Okay. Continue. Now we're outside. I like how this game actually gives us like options to walk around. Oh, I can't go there, friend. Can I go up here? I can. Can I go down there? No, can't. It's down there, water. Funeral. Of who? I've been thinking. Sick as shit. Said Maddie. We got some to spare. Let's make the funeral. I've been thinking, said Kishan. Said Maddie. About the people that I've left behind. I'm not gonna see any of them ever again. One of them could be out to walk through that door. Don't taunt me with possibilities. You brought it up. Yeah, well, death has a really full finality to it, you know. Yeah, it does. That's death. The travel from life to death is a very one-way street for all, but few individuals, and if you're standing here, then it's a bit late for chest paddles. I guess I'm thinking more of the fact that I'm not gonna see any of my old friends again. Not as long as they're alive, anyway. That does tend to be how death works. I hope you're not surprised. Not surprised. But I also wouldn't have been surprised if that wasn't the case, you know. Like, I'm pretty sure on at least one occasion I've threatened people by saying, I will haunt you, and now that's never gonna happen. Pity. You could have been someone's grudge ghost film. Guess that's one confined to the annals of Japanese horror cinema. Hey, I was wondering, do you think there's any way for me to see what's going on at my funeral? Don't. Alright. I just thought you'd know it's kind of everyone's fantasy, right? To see the people you have to say about when they've passed. Wouldn't you want to see what was going on at your own funeral? I think it's none of your business what goes on at your funeral. Really? I mean, it's pretty common for people to plan their own funerals. At least if they go late enough that they can see it coming. You know, I'd like to have my brother deliver a eulogy. Don't let them play any Barry Manilow songs or something. Do you have a problem with Barry Manilow? No, I have no particular opinion on the man or his music. But a lot of people who are old enough to be planning their own funeral do. You can make your plans, but whatever unfolds at the funeral is up to those who attend. What about the wishes of the dead? I thought you'd have a bit more sympathy for the interests of considering how often you interact with them. I care plenty about the dead. You're asking about funerals. Funerals are for the living, my friend. Kishan opened his mouth to respond, but nothing cut short. I never thought about it that way. Not sure what to say. If you're short on words but high on energy, you can expand some of that energy by carrying this box upstairs. There's an alcove next to the bookshelf that will make a good home for this box.
feels like the person that I'm playing is quite short. So yeah, this is the height, eye level of the pipes. Teen transient. A teenage boy approached the counter, shoulders slumped forward, head down, eyes on the ground, up till the moment he looked up to order a drink. He was old enough that he could pass for a young adult. Really? With a better presentation, but the posture coupled with the oversized backpack he was wearing did give away. Irrespective of his age, he was still just a kid. Can I get a Coke? An order befitting of a kid. Yeah, I think we can manage that, said Maddie. Think fast, said Shay. Maddie turned around just in time to see an aluminium can hurtling towards her. She almost caught it. The can rolled back towards Shay, who scooped it off the floor. He hesitated a moment before setting it on the counter. No ice, right? Said Shay. The boy nodded. No. Yeah. Yes to no ice. Shay cracked open the can and poured it into a waiting glass, which he then slid down the counter, pushing it gently enough that it came to rest in front of the teenage boy. The boy grabs the glass. Thanks, he said. He glanced around the room. If you're looking for a place to sit, there should be plenty of seats upstairs. The boy nodded and headed off for the stairs, drink in hand. Plenty of seats down here too, said Manny, turning to Shay. Yeah. But I think upstairs is more Tuan's place. What did you just call it? Tuan, said Shay. People have names, you know. That's the problem with having regulars, Maddie, said Maddie. People expect you to remember their names. Though now that I think about it, Tuan probably wouldn't mind finding out that you don't know his name. Can't have your name on Maddie's shit list if she doesn't know it. Should he be on my shit list? Said Maddie. Nah, he's harmless, said Shay. Maybe a bit susceptible to peer pressure, but I think that's why he comes here. To meet with peers? To meet with people who aren't his peers, said Shay. How many glum teenagers do you see around here? Too many. Maybe not enough. Please tell me you don't actually said that. Teenagers have the highest noise to spending ratio of any demographic. Not the glum ones. And if I were a glum teenager trying to find my place in the world and trying to carve out an identity for myself, I would imagine a worse place to do it than here. Teenagers can go be glum somewhere else. Whatever happened to proper teenage delinquency? Be careful what you wish for, said Shane. We've been mercifully delinquent-free for a while now. Proper teen delinquents don't loiter in coffee shops, said Maddie. They set things on fire, spray paint alleyways, and stay out past curfew. Does the city have a curfew for minors? It should, said Maddie. Teens need to be able to break rules, and all the better if committing acts of vandalism at 11 p.m. gives them a 2-for-1. Maybe they should avoid delinquency and just stick to general mischief, said Shane. Oh no, said Maddie. We already have a plenty of mischief here, ever since Ashley set up the shop. Got it, said Shane. Next time I see Tuan, I'll tell him he needs to be committing more crimes. What will you do if he actually takes your advice? He won't, said Shane. Peer pressure only works if it's in the form of a peer. Someone my age telling him he'll be cool if he starts swift. Swiping liquor won't do much to assure him that becoming a thief is a ticket to popularity and acceptance. So find another teenager, tell him. I'll keep my eye out, said Shane. So these are other characters that are, passing by. Hi, I can finally read Judgment 1. Shay sat in the corner of the cafe with a book in his lap. His eyes danced over the page for several moments, the words of the page illuminated by the candle that sat perched on the armrest of his chair. Then, after several moments passed, he turned the page. He hadn't actually internalized any of the text on the page,
nor had he taken any of the text on the 50 preceding pages. He was vaguely aware of the fact that the book he kept on referring to a man named Henry, who Che presumed was the protagonist of the book he held in his lap, but beyond that little to nothing. Che didn't particularly mind this fact. In fact, if he started actually following the story that was told in the pages of this book, he would consider it a great failure. Che enjoyed sitting down with a book, and he enjoyed the platonic ideal of reading. But when it comes to telling stories, he found books to be a poor substitute for a person sitting next to him. He didn't pick up books when he wanted to be told the story. He picked up books when he wanted to be alone, to situate comfy chair and bask in candlelight and sit silently in a meditative state. He turned another page. "Hey," said a familiar voice, interrupting him. "I'm in the middle of a book, Ned," said Che. If you hadn't noticed, that was the book's secondary function. It deterred people who might see a man sitting alone and seize up the opportunity to start a conversation when he was not in a mood for conversation. "Is it a good book?" said Ned. "I was enjoying being alone with it," said Che. "Yeah, you look really engrossed. Sorry to interrupt. I've got a favor to ask." "Why is it always to ask a favor?" said Che, looking past Ned and speaking to no one in particular, even though there was no one but Ned near enough to hear him speak. "Why is it never, 'Hey Che, I just wanted to stop by to offer you a favor'?" "I did that one time," said Ned. "You said you are busy, which I figured was your way of politely saying, 'Please don't bother me with this kind of visit,' so I stopped." "Did you? I don't remember it." "I'm sure you do," said Ned. "It was from back when, before you started forgetting things. Sometime around, when did the war start?" "You're gonna have to be a lot more specific," said Che. "You know, the war with the soldiers and the guns." "Ah, that war," said Che. "I did narrate it down a bit, didn't I?" "I'm not that old," said Che. "Wars were fought with guns even when I was a young man. Same for you. Did they?" "Well, it was the war with the, That trailed off. He raised a hand to his face, flicked his helmet, mimicking the unmistakable ping of a M1 Garand. "World War II? Which one was that?" "The one with the Nazis," said Che. "That sounds about right," said Ned. "Anyway, I came to ask a favor." "He's that old? He's that old? Wow." "Anyway, I came to ask a favor. I hope that favor was spend a few minutes of your time having an inane conversation, but we already did that," said Che. "My, but you're snippy today," said Ned. "What's gotten into you?" Che held up the book. "A good book is what's gotten into me." "Sorry," said Ned. "I wouldn't ask if it wasn't urgent. I'm in need of an interpreter." "You speak Cantonese, right?" "Yes," said Che. "Great," said Ned. "Can I steal you for a few hours?" "Not if it's to be an interpreter," said Che. "Why not?" "You speak Cantonese and you seem fluent enough in English, so why wouldn't you say no to specifically to translating? Being an interpreter is not simple as being bilingual, Ned, isn't it?" "I figured you hear things in one language and say them in another. Seems simple to me." "Are you literate?" said Che. "A bit." "Can you write a work of great literature?" said Che. "Nope," said Ned. "Well, there you go," said Che. "There's more translating than being bilingual." "Oh, come on," said Ned. "I'm in a pinch. I'm not asking to be a great interpreter, just an adequate one. There's a lot of bilingual people around," said Che. "I'm sure you know other places to ask." "Yeah, but I know you're not the kind of person to spill secrets," said Ned. "It's the kind of conversation that I just want to be between me and another person, "Great," said Che. "Sounds like you need a professional interpreter. I hear they're great at facilitating those kind of interactions." "Come on," said Ned. "What can a professional interpreter do that you can't?" "A lot of things," said Che. "But for one, a professional interpreter is someone you can count on to allow you to use their mouth to say incredibly stupid things without letting you or your counterparty know just how stupid they find the interaction. Funny that, said Ned. I just figured that's the kind of thing you'd be good at. Because I'm so good at holding my tongue? Yes. I've tried before, said Shay, kicking up his feet. Being an interpreter pays well if you find yourself working at the right people, and leaves your hands a lot less callous than some of the work I found myself doing instead. But you'll notice my hands have calluses. Turns out holding your tongue is oftentimes harder than digging holes. Come on, you know how to be a diplomat, said Ned. Fuck off, said Shay. There, that was me being undiplomatic. Now would you kindly find another solution to your problem? One that doesn't involve me performing a task that I've told you at least twice now that I'm not going to do? Hello, welcome! Flame channel. channel かな? Hey, domo. This is Necrobarista. Hey, Maddie. Ned shouted. It doesn't sound like he shouted. Hey, Maddie! No, Maddie replied. I haven't asked you for anything yet, said Ned. I know. I thought I would save you the time, said Maddie. Ned sighed. What is it with you people? Maddie turned toward Ned and glowered at him. You people? Ned raised his hands defensively. I didn't mean... No. I mean just you two. You're birds of a feather in quite a few ways. Maddie stared at him and Ned contemplated whether there was any way for him to make any statement grouping Maddie and Shay together without making himself look worse than he already did. He sighed in frustration. You know what your problem is? Yes, said Maddie. I know him quite well. And he's standing right in front of me. 面白いな. I want to read Judgment too. I don't know where is it, but okay, let's continue our main story. Seems like we were able to unlock quite a few places. Outside this door, upstairs, downstairs. I guess one more is just the kitchen and the staff room. So, yep. Let's continue. 続けてくれ. Day 2, 8:15 p.m. outside the terminal. Ugh, I don't have the energy for this. Maddie's been running on empty for several days now. Especially with everyone watching me. I hope he packed enough conductors. My order form was pretty vague. I shouldn't be worried about the conductors when I'm not even sure I can pull the whole thing off without some sort of major screw-up happening. Supplier knew what I wanted conductors for anyway, so he would have packed enough. A good supplier knows enough about their clients to anticipate their needs. There's a certain amount of nosiness that is polite. And he knows I've got Ashley helping me. Helping you with what, Madeline? It's Ned. Piss off, Ned. Rude. You should respect your elders, you know. Ned is not a young man, even by the standards of semi-mortals. God, listen to you. The council made you soft, didn't it? Oh, respect your elders. Follow all our totally arbitrary rules or we'll have you some cheap reason to destroy your business. My name's Ned and I love rules. You done? Yep. Cool. You sound wounded. Some steel chest plate that can save you from a bleeding heart, but not a bruised ego. You should be nicer. Wow, sick comeback. What was it a guy you killed said? Oh Christ, I'm shot. Oh no, woe is me. Just a little throwback humor for you. Did I strike a nerve? Did I just what? Maddie? When Ned spoke next, it was in a deep, dark cadence, steeped in guilt and self-loathing. If Maddie had been able to see his eyes, she would have faced with a withering glare. We're rapidly reaching a point of no return. I can no longer promise to shield you from the consequences of your actions. What you did just there, quoting one of my victim's dying words at me, that was low. Even for you. Frankly, I am disgusted. You dare poke at my guilt? You dare? Let's talk about guilt, shall we? I don't suppose you have anything weighing on your conscience right now, would you? As I thought. They may still weigh heavily on me, but I am absolved of my sins. The moral depths take a lifetime to work off. Ned had more than a few lifetimes. I've had 100 years or so to process that, and to redeem myself through my actions. Your sins are fresh. They're lance marks on your soul, deep cuts in your aura. Swallow your arrogance, novice. I know what you did. Maddie's sins weigh heavy on Ned's mind. They weigh even heavier on hers. And I can't wait to see how you plan to make this right. Episode 5. Rainy Moods. I guess it's kind of low when you aim at someone's guilt. Like you point at the things that they regretted. Did he regret? I guess he did regret their sins. Day 2, 8:30 p.m. The terminal. Oh, 人が入った. Someone else other than the main characters we've seen so far. Tuan, age 16, thinks he's smart, not antisocial, just shy. Read a bunch of Wikipedia articles on optometry and considers himself somewhat of an expert. Hannah, age 16, knows she's too smart for her own good. Hobbies people watching. Self-indulgent teenage angst. Taking advantage of the fact that she knows she's too smart for her own good. Tuan. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got really weird names so far. We got Kishan, we got Tuan, and then we got like Maddie, Che, Ashley, Ned. So I'm not sure that alcohol actually makes you feel anything. In fact, by going its chemical properties, I'd say the opposite. Shut up, Dark. We're planning a heist. Metaphysical debates about alcohol can come after. This isn't about metaphysics. I'm just talking about simple chemical interactions right there. Tuan is a guy who has the look of someone who knows about chemical interaction and human interaction. Tuan, you nerd! We call him Mr. Yeah, I guess in Malay, we call him Mr. Cik. Tuan. But since he's 16-year-old, I call him Adik. Please take that energy you're putting into pedantry and redirect it towards the plan. Pedantry. Hannah is a girl who ordinarily down for wordplay, but right now she's too busy with physical shenanigans to have time for verbal shenanigans. Plan? It's a plan! What's the plan? They are good looking. Man, the character designer knows what to do. Both of them are cute. I was thinking I could just reach over the bar and grab the first bottle I see. Sounds risky. Very chaotic neutral. And what's your alignment then? Neutral good? Alright, does anyone know what is your alignment, or what do you think your alignment is? So far, in a lot of situations, I've either been what is this? Evil, neutral, evil, and chaotic evil, and chaotic good. But most of the time I've been a chaotic good or neutral evil. Very rarely lawful evil, but yeah. Hello, welcome, Ranger-san. Neutral
good. Neutral good. Here. Uh-oh. I'd say I was lawful neutral, but lawful evil. Am I really lawful evil? That's the coward's option. Yeah. But getting back to plan, using your own pedantry to distract you was absolutely part of the plan. Wow, so little faith in me. Gotta minimize the liabilities here. Hannah's still learning to trust this guy. She doesn't have the look for an interloper, but you can never be too safe. You're out here playing checkers while I'm playing 6-dimensional upside down laser chess. Shit! I've galaxy brain this and now I'm holding the fruits of my labor. Don't you mean our labor? If you insist. Give me a closer look. What sort of fruit do we pluck from the booze tree? Maybe stretching that metaphor out, huh? Yep. Don't recognize the language in this label. What? Let me look. What the hell? Huh? I don't recognize it either. Maybe it's a cipher. A cider is made from fermented apple juice. A cipher is made from fermented word juice. That doesn't make sense at all. What make you read a cipher just to know what you're drinking? A sadist. Oh, you can ask Maddie what is it. She's a sadist, right? Oh! What do you call someone who enjoys the empathic pain when they feel from hurting others? Yeah, the idea sounds great. Let's go find her. Apart from the fact that we specifically nicked it off her, alright. You're meant to be the lawful one here, dude. We agreed on neutral good. Me not challenging your assertion does not make it an agreement. Regardless. Wait, hold on. I sense a dark presence. Do you feel it? No, I don't feel anything particularly spooky in the air. Yeah, me neither. Hello, children. I see you've stooped to petty thievery. Petty thievery. Some of the bottles on the shelf are old enough that swiping them would be an act of grand theft. Not this one, however. Alas, sprung. Can't believe my high scare is over so quickly. Don't give up on your dreams, kid. Speaking of, you know what happens when you drink this? I was assuming some sort of drunkenness. Does it make your teeth fall out? Well, last time I had a shot of this, I woke up in Adelaide. Wow. So the result was 700 kilometers worth of drunkenness and bad decisions. But I woke up 6 hours before I took the shot. I'd drive a rented car back and explain to Che why I disappeared without a trace and somehow accidentally time traveled. Holy shit, can we give it a try? God, no. Have you ever heard of liquor licensing laws? I'd have in jail. I think it'd be an excellent formative experience. Yeah, if you're not perpetrating teen drinking culture, you're a loser. Somehow, I remain unconvinced by your passionate arguments. Well, we tried. You kids have way too much time on your hands, you know that? Better than not having enough, right? I'm utilizing my time to practice my skills. It's not wasted. Well, the non-existent industry sector that relies solely on the skill of reaching over bars and stealing bottles of enchanted booze is going to be lucky to have you. Oh, that's so validating. Thanks. Can I get you coffee or anything? Hot chocolate? Kinda busy tonight, but I'm hoping that bribing you with free drinks will stop you from nicking my shit. I'll take a free drink. I feel guilty taking one since it was Tuan's idea. Hey! But I'll graciously accept your offer. Neat, Aldi. Hot chocolates. For both of us? Hot chocolates for both of us. Alright, 2 hot chocolates coming up. Seriously, don't steal anything else while I backstep, or I'll feed you to a spike elemental. I wonder. Spike elemental. metaphor? Is she saying that she'll eat us? Is she the spite elemental? Oh no. Maybe the real spite elementals were the friends we made along the way. I hate this. Fair. Ooh la la. Boom. She got some big knockers. I like. Samantha, age 32, American, visiting Melbourne for work, devastatingly patient. Trust me, you kids don't want to make a spite elemental. Have you? Yep. Got pretty close to not making it out alive. Guess you're in a fairly exciting line of work then. This woman line of work may seem intriguing to someone looking in from the outside, but to her it's all business. It gets that way sometimes. But spite elementals are exciting. Huge badonkers. You get me. You get me. Some huge badonkers. They're terrifying. They suck all the air out of a room and make the world ache. And they don't die easily. Huh. That's kinda metal. You sure do need brass balls to face one down, that's for sure. And a steady gaze? What? Young innocence. Cause steel is a metal and I said it was a metal and you get mentioned brass balls, so Hannah, please back me up. Nope. You bought this on yourself, mate. No. No, she's totally right. What's going on here? You bullying my customers, Samantha? Of course not. Good, because that's my job. You two should be enjoying the evening. There's a nice breeze blowing. There's no breeze, but okay. You remembered my name. That's sweet. Sweet isn't a word that people often use to describe Maddie. It's a kind of remark that says more about the person who's talking than the person they're talking about. Of course I did. You're interesting. Doesn't that describe everyone who walks through your doors too? Absolutely not. Especially not in the way that you are. Some people would take offense at that. Your boss must be very different to mine. Well, my old boss, I guess. I'm my own boss now, actually. Maddie thinks she can make it all on her own, but she might turn out alright. Yeah, she seems alright. Apologies. Your approach to hospitality work is very different from what I'm used to, is what I'm trying to say. Figures, where'd you work? Just some dive bar overseas. Wretched hive of scum and villainy. The owner would never shut up about treating every client like royalty. Sounds like a pain in the ass if you ask me. I'm not asking actually, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. So, can I get you anything? Surprise me. You'd like me to pick you something? Yeah. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions? Are they related to the drink? Yep. Shoot. Okay. What's your favorite white wine? Oh, you're not making me a wine cocktail, are you? No. I pass you to a glass of Marseille every now and then. Fancy. Next question. Have you ever read a star chart? Like in astrology? No. Why? I don't put any stock in mysticism. Hey, this place isn't mystical. To some people, this place seems otherworldly. For others, just the world that they live in. It's built of cold, hard facts. I just don't know them all yet. Alright, fair enough. Last question. You're walking in the shallows of an ocean that seems to go in a distance forever. You can't see any land from the sand under your feet. Okay. Whenever you step forward, the sand sinks just a little bit. As far as you can see, there's no way to escape. Drowning is the only possible outcome. What do you do? Wow, I feel like you're about to pull out a Voight-Kampff machine or something.
It's obviously some sort of test. I run, I swim, I dive when I can. And if I eventually drown, so be it. There's nowhere else to go and no point to sitting and waiting for starvation or sharks to someone save me. I have to take action. Interesting. So, what's the verdict? Samantha didn't get a response. Maddie's eyes had glazed over as soon as she'd answered the last question, and now she stood perfectly still, gazing intensely at the rows and rows of dusty bottles lining dustier shelves. Her lips moved, but no words came out. As Samantha watched, a flask of red liquid twitched, seemingly of its own accord. Maddie craned her neck up and it scowled. In response, a smaller bottle next to the first, and surely only big enough to hold a few drops of something, began to glow. Her skull shifted to a wry smile. Magic! Please, you don't need to open anything new on my account. Gotcha. Your answers were interesting. Coming from some people, that might sound like a non-committal remark, but coming out of Maddie, it might be one of the most effusive praises we get. So, what are your questions? I'm still having a little trouble figuring out how they will relate to each other. Is that important? I try to maintain a vague hope that maybe one day things might make sense. And until then, I just try to go with the flow, of course. Hey. Stylish. Sorry for trying to psychoanalyze you there. Try? You think you failed? No? What's the verdict then? Well, for one, you tend to accept things as you see them. You don't try to interpret things based off unrelated frameworks or thought patterns. That said, you do try to make sense of the connections between things when you can. Maddie's pretty sure she has all the pieces. She's found out that she's putting all the pieces together requires a bit more effort. But it's no big deal if you don't. You just mark it as an unknown variable and move on. And that reads to me as an intensely pragmatic approach. Would you agree? I suppose. You're the sort who doesn't buy drinks to enjoy them. You buy them as camouflage. If you're experienced with pretending to be something you're not in order to blend in, you might develop a talent for recognizing when others are trying to do the same. To hide your face behind, to project a veneer of being untouchable while you watch. Watch what? Everything, I suppose. You take everything in the same way I do. So you're saying that I'm attentive, but that I don't worry about instantly understanding how things are interconnected. Because you're confident that eventually you'll understand it anyway. How did you figure that? You've been watching my hands the whole time. Is that weird? To watch an attractive bartender mixing a very fancy looking cocktail? To appreciate the craft? No. But given that how interested you are in what my hands are doing, I'd wager that you've got some experience in my field. So were you really just bad at picking up on what you're doing being flirted with, or... It's fine, sweetie. In fact, it's pretty cute. I meant in alchemy. In the field of alchemy. I'm sure you're very accomplished in alchemy. Just take the drink. Maddie! It's so cute. You're flirting with customers now. Shit, this is really good. Yeah? Too good to ignore, yeah? It's smoky but bittersweet, and it's a contrast that bitters that makes you really appreciate the sweetness. Or is it the other way around? Almost makes me feel like I'm reaching the end of something. But I've got a lump in my throat saying goodbye. But I can't quite tap into that feeling. Like, what did you even put in this? Mezcal, artichoke bitters, gold heart bitters, and a slice of gorilla lime. Gorilla lime? That can't be a real thing. It's just hard to acquire. Felt that because if you bite into one, it feels like you got punched by a gorilla. Physically? No, emotionally. That makes sense. I am not a wizard. Prove it. That guy the boss you mentioned? Yeah. He good to you? Sorry? Does he treat you well? Yeah. To a fault, actually, for the past point where it's irrational for him to still be nice to me. No one's ever accused of old Che being rational. That doesn't stop him from trying to be the voice of the reason. Good. Actually, I'm sorry. That reminds me I have to dash. Got some setup work for a project I have to finish before sun comes up. Maddie rarely engages in careless shenanigans, so when she's up to something, you best be on your guard. Yeah, it's very stylish. Like everything has an angle, has a cutscene. So it's like watching a Shaft or Trigger made anime. But it's like a visual novel. But without you here, who will enable my latent alcoholism? You can just reach whatever the bar and grab the gin. Tonics in the bar fridge. Will do. Come back soon though. I'd love to discuss alchemy if you so want. Catch you later. Wait, one last thing. What was the meaning behind the question about what wine I like? Oh, I'm just curious. All the characters in here are also cheeky. I like that. That's the last one, I reckon. Does it have the Maggie caps in it? I think so. You can just call them caps, you know. They're built for something different. I refuse to use non-specific language. Yep, they're in here. Okay, what about the thing? You have to be a little bit more... Oh, you know. The thing. Sparky thing. Ashley likes having friends who can understand her even when she fails to be specific. I understand. I totally understand. I sometimes have a hard time explaining things in describing things, and then I'll just say it in like sound effects, and then like I hope that my friend understands it. Sweetie, how long have you been awake? It's better for you if you don't know, I think. Do you mean the voltage regulator? That's the one. Good job. It's one of the other boxes. I didn't think we needed another one though. Are you kidding? The last one literally melted. It's a good thing I have an extremely sick metal arm, or else I would have been badly injured. Ashley's metal arm is a point of pride. She wouldn't trade it for anything, not even the arm that is replaced. Yeah, thank goodness. Is there anything missing? I shall check. Need some espresso? It's the thing that goes brrr. Yes. Took a nap and now full energy to watch the stream. Hello, welcome back. I think the stream is still going on until I have to grab food, but let's see how far we can go with this game. If I'm still not done, I'll probably stream. I'll take like an hour or two break and continue a bit later, because it seems like this game is gonna end soon. I don't know how many more episodes, but I've seen it's about 5 hours gameplay. It's quite short. Hey, that's really mature of you. Nice job. Yeah, whatever. You can get me some chocolate if you want. Don't tell Ashley that chocolate has trace amounts of caffeine. At least it's not more espresso. Sure thing. Be back in a moment. Oh, hey dude, where you been? Hey, just chilling. Not much to do when you're waiting to die. Hey! Come on, Cooper, I know you're hiding in there somewhere. Hold this, will ya? She's short. Look at how short she is. Maddie is short. Did Ned really say that? Yeah. Do you believe it? I'm not sure. Well, it's not a lie. The most dangerous lies are the lies we tell ourselves. That hurt. I felt that. But it's not the whole truth either. And I don't quite have the time to untangle it for you. That is the sort of person to weave and tangle webs without too much consideration for who's going to have to untangle them. I've got a hungry teenager downstairs and a summoning ritual to complete. She's part of this too. Don't you take that judgy tone with me. Hey, far be it from me to moralize at you. Getting a lot of that these days, mate. I'm just trying to keep everyone happy. Tough gig. I'll say. Summoning ritual. Oh, so this is the staff only side, I think.
Alright now, if you can solder those 2 wires. No, not those ones. Bloody hell, who programmed you? She's a jerk. Incredibly intelligent, very bad programmer. Ashley has known how to program exactly the minimum amount she needs to, but not the iota more.
You're talking about yourself, right?
Wah!
Wow, you're really out of it, huh? Did you even pull this up, huh?
Leg holster.
You're not even wearing a leg holster. Arm holster. Prosthetic?
It holds 6 million knives. Don't question me on this. I'm the expert here.
Hey, need a hand?
Dude, you should check yourself before you fucking wreck yourself. That's not what I meant.
Oh.
The hand, that's she. Hand. Yeah, I guess you can help.
Before I ask what you need, what are you even doing? Maddie mentioned the summoning circle?
Something like that. You ever wanted to live forever?
I'd trade that for just having a second chance, honestly.
Well, grab me that box, please. You can't just leave me hanging at that. Watch me. And while you watch me leave you hanging, you can go get the box. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's really heavy. What's even in here?
100 meters of heavy gauge copper cable.
In a basement full of magical items, this copper wire might be the thing most in danger of being stolen. It's easy to flip at least.
A bunch of capacitors I'm going to wire together soon, and some various bits and bobs.
That would definitely explain the weight.
Oh, there's also a bunch of clamps.
So what do you need?
Validation!
Yes, the BGM is Big Bob.
Chocolate! Coffee! A school system that doesn't pass me for having weird niche interests.
I meant more,
communism.
Ashley's a real party girl. I don't think I can get you communism, sorry. And isn't Maddie already getting you chocolate?
You're a terrible comrade, Shan. If I wasn't close to hitting LD50 of a caffeine, I asked you to buy some coffee. So you can get right now is give me the sweet validation.
Okay. You real thumbs up? Good human? I don't know what sort of validation you want here.
I feel like I'm stuck in a loop of trying things that are inevitably going to fail. And I don't know how much of it's my fault for not being good enough at momentally difficult tasks. I'm used to being effortlessly good at things, but I feel like my brain is full of bees on this one. And can I deal with failure? I don't think I can. I'm not equipped for failure. My entire perception of myself is that I'm good at things. I'm gifted and talented and incredibly afraid that I'm going to let people down at a vital moment. This is that vital moment. But I just sit here, paralyzed. And I rationally know that a lot of this pressure is just me being hard on myself. But Maddie and I, we tried this already. And we failed pretty badly. It was a disaster.
For Ashley of all people to call something a disaster must have been a real catastrophe.
I can't understate how badly it turned out. So even with all the prep I'm doing, is this enough? Did we learn enough to do it properly? Numbers and formulas and hard signs are good, but I can't shake this feeling that I'm going to screw it up for everyone. I'm so afraid of letting Maddie down. There are few things that we fear more than disappointing the people we love most. That's heavy shit, mate. You reckon? Fully, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say except that I don't think Maddie would ever feel let down by you. I know that I've only been here for like 2 days, but her and Chase seem to really care about you. And I'm sure that extends to accepting you for who you are, limitations and all. Though honestly, I think you give off a pretty strong vibe of not giving a shit about your limitations, or that you indiscriminately power through them with some sort of raw caffeine-fueled fury. Anyway, you're immensely powerful and I'm terrified of you. Fair enough. I was never really super smart or gifted or anything. Sometimes the people who they think they're not gifted were just never made aware of their gifts. So yeah, everyone, you have a gift. You're just not sure of it yet if you think that you're not gifted. I just floated through school and work and never focused on much except having a good time. I can definitely imagine the sort of pressure it have on you though, especially given how big this task is. Yeah. So while I can say for sure that this thing is gonna be easy or even successful, in the terminal I can feel like nothing is easy. Even Sunday mornings come with their own set of trials and tribulations. I do think it's important that whatever you work on, giving yourself a break from the weight of your own expectations. But it's not an easy thing, I'm sure. But my boyfriend is similar. He's very hard on himself when he feels like he's letting himself down. So it doesn't go away? I don't think so. I think it just gets easier to deal with as you learn to be more empathic with yourself. Self-forgiveness and all that. It's often hardest to forgive someone when you feel aware of all their flaws. It's definitely took a good few years to even begin with to be able to deal with his self-imposed shame. I guess I can try that. You can try that. Or you can continue feeling super bad about yourself all the time. I mean, when you put it like that, right? I hate how rational you sound. I know, I'm being disgusted at myself. Sup nerds? What's going on in this thread? What? You're suddenly in a good mood. I maybe ate some of your chocolate. Maybe Maddie ate some chocolate. Maybe grass is green. Oh, I swear to God, if there isn't any left. Yes, and we'll be over this before you comprehensively murderize me. Murderize. You'd hate to... If someone failed to comprehensive and they went to murdering you, I've seen it completely murderizing the attempts, and they ain't pretty. Don't worry, I only ate a little bit. Excellent! Is this enchanted chocolate or just normal chocolate? What about unenchanted dark chocolate? Well, this is called normal, abnormal chocolate spectrum. I would like some enchanted chocolate. Does he deserve to know? I don't know. I kinda like the mystery. It's completely normal chocolate, isn't it? Maybe. Maybe not. Can I have some then? Come on, you owe me. For what? Helping to set up all this. Oh yeah, that's fair. This is totally normal chocolate. Yeah. Did you expect it not be that? Well, you implied. You never implied. You came out with that all your own. Damn it. Alright, I'm bored. Later, dogs. Don't you run off me, miss. This magic hat bank isn't even half done. I'll do it later. For now, I'm gonna take a nap under that table. If anyone disturbs me. Come on. You'll be happy? Confused? Ticklish? Extra hungry? I will mention me in your diary. Maddie doesn't keep a diary. All those thoughts and memories just stay cooped up in her head. One day she's gonna run out of space or sanity. I will exact terrible revenge on both of you later.
Jeez, that phrase doesn't start with an M. Bye. Look at her just roll on the floor. Heh. I'm not being too hard on her, am I? You? Nah, she thinks you're great. Good. I could probably start to give her a break now. There are few people who appreciate a break more than Ashley, especially when it's a break for Maddie. I mean, I'm expecting a lot from her right now. She does seem a bit overloaded. Fuck. But she'd tell me if things were too much, right? I don't know. Seems like she idolizes you. Idolatry is a sin, isn't it? It can't be healthy behavior. I reckon she'd be happily burn herself up for you, you know? I just need her for the next 4 or 5 hours, then everything will be okay. Is that why you're planning on performing the ritual? This thing? Yeah. What's it for anyway? Conduit ritual. Super forbidden magic. Oh, cool. Are you actually cool with this, or not hugely actually? Why's that? Well, you know, I was talking to Ned earlier and actually don't worry about it. It's fine, I don't care. What's it do? You know how I took a couple of hours from you down here? Vividly. That's just a bigger scale version of that spell. High capacity. Who are you taking hours from? Nobody. Don't worry, but you're at a deficit already. When you got deep enough into the hole, you kind of stop worrying about climbing out of it and just accept your fate. Yes. Like the whole of VTubers. I can't touch you. Right, okay. So even if you're lying right now, shouldn't you have taken enough to pay off your debt multiple times at this point? The hours went for that. Or maybe it just felt like hours. It can be hard to judge time when you're wandering around aimlessly. What the hell did you do with them then? Where'd they go? For our research, we used the following materials. Wire of copper, heavily drawn. Jessamine chalk, not Dover. Sustained electric supply of at least 20 volts. Car battery. Capacitors composed of need better durability. However, we believe extra components are required. Our conduit's properties are varied with the layout of our summoning circle, and despite the departure of our test subjects during our trials, we were able to ascertain a number of efficiency-oriented refinements. Certain kinds of optimization require real dedication to craft, as well as the absolute necessity of living but non-sentient vessel to act as a so-called storage container. More testing is required, though obtaining a willing subject for future methodology evaluations without attracting the attention of the council will be difficult, to say the least. I start them. In here? In these things? All those hours are in this tree. What? Means that depth would have been gone already? What is she doing, keeping all that hours in the tree? I miss eating. Me too. What was your diet like? I remember sushi. Sushi? I thought you said you were a crab. What do you think, crabs aren't dexterous enough to make sushi? Unquestionably, yes. What is this sushi? It's delicious, is that what it is? Rice and fish and seaweed, humans ate it. And crabs. I just don't know why the crab would find rice or make a way to make good sushi. I also ate garbage. Yes, I also ate garbage on occasion. Unbelievable, you two. Unbelievable. Garbage is good for the soul. Garbage isn't lame. What did you eat when you were alive then? Glass. It's normal grass. Boring. And tree roots sometimes. There are tree roots here, yes? Yeah, then actually, why did you chomp on them? Well, I'm not hungry, we don't eat. Also, more importantly, they are powerfully magical. Maddie needs them. If we damage things that Maddie needs, then Ashley will be disappointed in us. A suboptimal state of affairs. I can feel the power in them too. However, I do not feel compelled to chomp on them. What a strange thought. Left to chomp sushi, chomp sandwiches, chomp garbage. You're so weird. So I guess those little robot things were like buffers, so we don't feel, oh my god, there's a lot of words this round. I don't know what to do. Alright. What should we pick? Sparky Tank. Sims. Interesting. Saddest. Copper cable. Motorized. Chocolate. No, maybe not chocolate. Idolizes. Alright, okay. Hello, yes, it's still going. I am trying to find out what goes on in this story. And this is this is Ashley's room, I think. 10 correct 10. Yeah, enough. Samantha sat alone in the bar, taking question. Do you want to inventions too? Do not steal. Floor sweeper. A letter from Sophie Cordova. Who is Sophie Cordova? My dear Maddie, thank you for getting in touch with me. Or perhaps I should say... Congratulations. I make such a point of making myself hard to find that it's always a surprise to hear from anyone. I sometimes find myself fearing the day that I'll be contacted by someone who isn't a fan of mine and who is more interested in locking me away than seeking my advice. One think that people interested in putting me away would be more capable and in possession of more resources than like yourself, who simply possess curiosity. And yet it's always the latter who manages to break in through the veil I've erected between myself and the outside world. You're the first in over 3 years to manage this, and so it's now the time for me to find another hiding place. If your next letter manages to find me, I'll truly have something to worry about. If you're looking for a solution to the problem you outline in your letter, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. My business is that of teaching people how to ask the right questions so that they find the right answers themselves, not giving answers. After all, the most worthwhile answers are the ones I haven't found yet. That being said, your question about time transference is an issue of special interest to me. The idea of storing vitality within a living non-sentient creature such as a plant is one I've long considered. The issue has always been one of the retrieval. If we did find a way to transfer vitality from a plant into a sentient creature, it would result in a tremendous discharge of energy. Such a great discharge that I'm sure it would kill whatever subject was on the receiving end. Absorbing life force from something that doesn't seem like it would you do much good if it kills you in the process. Consequently, I've never experimented with this process myself. Even if I have earned a reputation for being a rule breaker, there are certain things that are simply off limits.
Your idea of using a non-living soul as a next target for transference is an interesting one. No risk of killing the vitality recipient if it's already dead. Of course, that would require finding a way to infuse a non-living soul with the vitality of in the first place. And that being the most reanimation techniques involve a significant discharge of energy. Using the vitality transfer as the trigger would effectively be killing two birds with one stone. Of course, reanimation is a far cry from necromancy, but if your only problem is one of the living on borrowed time, well, you know better than I do on how to resolve the particulars. I'm an alchemist, not a necromancer. If I can offer you one piece of advice, these kind of vitality transfers are not something to be experimented with. Anytime that time is borrowed or lent, you are making an alteration to a ledger. Then the powers that we keep a very careful eye on. Even the smallest of disturbances is enough to attract their notice, and attracting their notice will put a quick end to any research you might be in the midst of. So, if you are going to try a vitality transference, don't experiment. Go straight for the end goal. If you're going to catch the attention of those you do not want, make sure that the endeavor is worthwhile. If you have a good reputation, you will be ashamed to squander it on something so trivial as allowing a mouse of a few extra seconds on this side of mortality. As they say, go big or go home. I appreciate you taking the time to write to me. You've given me new things to pontificate on. And perhaps one day you may see the results of that pontification in one of my future volumes. Of course, it should go without saying that you won't be able to reach me again, at least not in the same way you did before. I've been found and that means I need to do a better job of covering my tracks. While rationally, I hope that I'll never find myself in a position where a fan's letter finds me, there has always been a part of me that hopes that one of my readers will manage to track me down. Who knows, perhaps the next letter I receive at my next residence will come from you. But I'm sure that you have better things to do with your time than try to track me down. There's a time to adopt the posture of a student and focus on learning. But it's obvious to me that you are someone who has spent plenty of time learning things and is now ready to do things. So do things, Maddie. Do big things. Do dangerous things. Do things that break the rules. Not all rules need to be broken, but if you are smart enough to find me, you are smart enough to know which rules are worth breaking. I'm grateful that it's always the reader mail that seems to find me and never the demands to appear of some kind of tribunal or committee. I used to think that this was a lost string of extremely good luck on my part, but over time I've come to realize that those who wish me gone lack the insight of people who earnestly read my work. Readers such as yourself who are the only ones who truly know me well enough to understand how I think and where I would hide. Bravo, Maddie. You've demonstrated your ability to think like me. Now you must learn to think like yourself. Yours truly, Sophie Cordova. So I guess she sought guidance on how to do stuff on this matter. It's already 7:30. While I would like to continue, and I have no idea how much more hour I have. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think I might continue a bit later tonight. Say 9:30 or 10. Maybe 9:30. I'll see how fast or how not lazy I am to prepare food. Right. So, ここまでこのゲーム I'll continue tonight. Definitely. I definitely want to know whether the experiment went well or not. So I'll be continuing tonight. Now it's 7:34 p.m. Malaysian time. I'll probably do 9:30 or 10, most likely 10, since I just want to laze around a bit more. So I'll finish up at 10. If I can finish it early, then I'll finish it today, and then along this week I'll start a new game. or play Minecraft or do a drawing stream or something. Yes, but I can stream every day now. It's just at different times. Maybe I'll just do evening or late night comfy stream. Is this even comfy? I am afraid it will become like the last stream, you know, like towards the end there's gonna be some kind of gore or horror. And then I mean I'll see. Tomorrow night I'm streaming Minecraft, so that will definitely be a comfier stream than all my sudden plot twist games. Right, so I'll stop here for now, not for today, for now. And I'll see you all if you want to come back and see the end of this game in a few more hours. Maybe at 10 o'clock. Yeah, probably continues at 10 o'clock. So bye bye. Thank you very much for joining today. Alright, at the end it's only par for the course. It's true. Save and load. What do I save? I click save. Save? Can't click save. Does this thing even save my progress? Does this thing save? I hope it does. I hope it saves at every end of back. Title? No. Anyway, I'll find a way how to save this. So, kejap lagi buka list. Okay. Hello. Yes. So, thank you for today. Thank you for now. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. See you guys in a few hours. Have a good dinner. Those who are from Malaysia or Southeast Asian countries. Those who are not, you can come back later. Bye 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 bye.